Okay, our first match here is against our boy Acker007. He's rocking Eclipse, and we're gonna go into a voice chat with him. Now, I forgot to record my voice, but you're gonna hear him, but not my voice. Opening hand's pretty trash. We mulligan fully, and he's rocking Grim Angel, which is pretty annoying. Grim Angel's stick is, when he comes into play, all units have a respawn ability where they'll respawn a 1/1 kind of unit. So you can kind of combine that with there's a spell card, I believe, called Him something, but when
I know that forecast,
you put that on a unit, and when a unit dies, it'll get a +1 in strength or hit points. Himagaiji, I think it's called.
Good one to run too.
Alright, so we took care of the battle surveyor with our lunatic. Now he's playing the frog dudes. We play an infested down.
What's the word?
I know. Got an army of frogs.
Play a War Stitcher. Drain his mana.
Leap it ahead.
So he's running a lot of cards that draw some cards, and I would say, like, in combo type decks, that's like the key thing is card draw, because card draw is going to allow you to get the certain pieces of your combo in your hand. If you don't have enough card draw, then you won't have that combo. But he plays a Tempest Artillery down. Good counter to my Grizzly Mac, but we do have a spell card to remove it. Now, really good counter card too. Like if you see that in the meta a lot, the 5 power 1 health Tempest Artillery. There is a 0 cost spell card called Snipe. So that's a really good counter to that. If you keep getting blown up by the Tempest Artillery.
What a wild idea.
So we drew our stability field fort, and that's my son Joshua going upstairs. Mixed reality, baby. Yeah, Plague Marauders, that 5/3 currently on the board, is a really good Eclipse card. I think if you're running Eclipse, that should almost always be in your Eclipse decks.
I don't think I have that card unlocked, but I don't know. I'm just trying new things with this Eclipse deck, and I just got this chance.
Yeah, so basically I was asking if he's running that spell card that buffs units when units die, and he said no, he doesn't have that yet. But yeah, Grim Angel is a really good champion though. I think he's much better than the default Necromancer champion.
Plus, they're 0 cost units, so if you're trying to make a...
Leap it ahead.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Drops down a Griffin, and those are very units that you must deal with, because if they get to your stronghold, at default they're attacking for 6, and you can't really take more than two or 3 hits from a Griffin. So if you take 2, that's putting you into the danger zone where like a spell card could kill you.
But they nerfed, well, I don't know about really nerfed, but they changed the effect for that base Stitcher. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
so
used to be when you spawn him, he would automatically drain 2, and I think also 2 when he was killed, death effect, he would drain 2 as well.
Yeah, so that was it was a good nerf because that was extremely powerful back in the day. The Face Stitcher is still really good. I mean, he's got 4 power, 6 health, so he's gonna stay on the battlefield for quite a bit. Good counter to a Face Stitcher. There's spell cards that just destroy units, like Mana Feedback, or I think there's like, I forget the name of it, but it destroys a unit, but you take damage to the cost of the unit to your stronghold. But yeah, Clips can take damage and use that to their advantage because they have a lot of Siphon in their faction. So right now, I am gearing up, to spam a bunch of forts.
Good one to use with Delirium.
So playing Stability Void, I'm able to just drop all these forts down and get refunds on the cost for them.
Let's have a look-see.
And that is really good to avoid getting punished for playing forts. So if you play an expensive fort, sometimes what can happen is your opponent could just counter it with a cheap spell card, or play a Terra Whale and get like a huge statted unit on the field.
Yes, my lord.
So he blights up here. I'm surprised he didn't blight his the 1/1 infantryman because that one has no mana fragments, but plays the Shade Thaumaturge in the lane that he can get advantage of the survivor ability. Alright, we drop another, I think, Grizzly Mac. There we go.
Try and stop me.
So at this point I'm thinking, yes, I need to start putting some effort into getting my champion out on the field. I got 2 pins and needles on the board, so we can kind of delete 4 health units basically.
Yes, my lord. At your service.
Now he's down to 9 cards. Sometimes you can get in a situation where you can mill your opponent. Like, so he's got 2 Shade Thaumaturges out, and if there's ways you can do all these incremental kind of damages to them and they trigger their survivor ability, you can kind of force your opponent to draw maybe too many cards. Play my second Feedback Murmur, and what I learned too, he does not have any fort removal in his deck that he's playing right now, and I think that was his one area that maybe he could add to make his deck a little better for Eclipse. Oh no, wait, no, he does have. I think he is running the 2 damage or remove a fort spell card with Eclipse. So yeah, I think that's his Delirium deck that he's not running for removal. So I got that confused. But yeah, I would say Feedback Murmurs have to get taken care of. We're gonna kill the Griffin and take away 3 mana fragments.
You cannot do that.
Alright, so we're playing our big boy here. Time and Space comes out. And at this point, you know, I'm quite ahead of the game.
Nice.
So it's a
Yep,
pretty
perfect
sticky
order.
situation for him right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Definitely once you get that combo set, it's hard to beat.
All right, so he's playing his bomber with sprint armor in the far left lane. So this was a good kind of Hail Mary here, because flight, sprint, that's a very strong, aggressive unit to go for your opponent's throat. But we drew into a starfish, so we can kind of defend the first attack onto my base.
I am ready. The great corruption is at hand.
People say I'm always super lucky with my lunatics.
Let's have a look-see. Found something.
Wait, down to 8. So he's down to 2 cards,
Yeah,
so
that's for
it's
sure.
do or die at this point for him. He needs to kill me in the next few turns, or it's going to be lights out for him.
Go for broke here.
Alright, so he's playing his sigil card.
The affliction.
Yeah, probably.
So now it's a 5/5. And I can only take
Found something.
one more hit before he's gonna kill me, basically. So the Plague Marauder is going to silence my time and space.
Yeah, when trying to think here.
So he's down to one more card left in his deck. He does another sigil, this time on Plague Marauder, bumping his bomber to 7 power and much more health with armor. Yeah, I think he's what, a 7/7.
Your deck is nearly depleted.
But I drew my stun, which is what I was waiting for, and then I go Muttering Assailant
Oh,
to
yeah,
then
that's good.
fling it right back at him for 7 damage down to 1, and we sigil it, get his mana fragments, and I move up for the final death blow.
Moving up.
So I was pretty close.
Yep, that was a good play.
I was like, because he had me right there. Like, if I didn't have like removal or some sort, he actually would have won that. But came through in the clutch there.
Yep, good
All right.
game.
So that's gonna do it for this game.
Yeah,
Victory.
All right, so this is game number 2, my opening hand. I'm looking for basically low-cost units to fill up the mana row and card draw. So we mulligan. And I got an Infestor, so it's not bad. Plays Battle Surveyor, opening round, and a zombie.
Found something.
So that's pretty bad for me. That's a lot of mana generation right there.
Insufficient mana.
Now he's playing the Spider Champion, which is
Something.
yeah, I think it's definitely an improvement over the default Necromancer Champion. And by the way, I'm playing M Tash, who is another excellent Dragonfront player. So he puts out a Plague Marauder. I really like the Plague Marauders. Does range now. Hits mover 5 with range. I would say this. I think you want to hide your Tricksy plays like the range spell card for like critical points, like a killing blow on the stronghold or a unit that you really can't deal with. But you know, he's going super aggressive, which is fine. But I feel like you want to hold on to that range card to catch your opponent off guard, like for the final death blow. So we actually kind of trap this Plague Marauder a bit here into a trap, and then my Soul Void's ready to gobble it up. Now if I can get his power down just a little bit, I could survive. There, I did. We killed the unit and got his power down by 1. So we stole his Matter Fragments. And now we're gonna pull off a little cheeky combo here. Mutter Assailant, attack his Stronghold for 5, and then get rid of it. Sigil Sacrifice. So we get tokens from it, we get mana from it, and we do damage to him, and we steal his mana fragments. Repurposes the Chum Creeper to get some more card draw. And we just have a whole bunch of forts. But our champion's coming out because he was super aggressive. That's another thing too, is sometimes when you're too aggressive, it allows your opponent to get the champion out faster. And then in this case, you know, I have my champion out and we have good board control, presence. So we're in a pretty good position here. But I do need some card draw because my hand is kind of it's got a lot of forts basically. So I am going to lose time and space here. That's usually what you want to do. You know, if time and space drops, you want to really focus on taking him out as soon as possible because he's going to stop you from generating mana in your row. He's going to pull everything. So, so he places Transference here, which is really kind of risky because when you have no mana, no spawn row mana generation, and you're playing a spell card, that's using up the mana that you have left banked up, and now he's starting at like 0 again with no mana generation. So you know, I don't tend to like try to avoid doing that, but again, both of us are very limited on cards right now, so I play a Feedback Murmur to make his life miserable. So I do have a repurpose, so I'm thinking to myself, you know, I'm just gonna wait for the next card draw here. And that is an excellent card to draw. It's also gonna make him decide. He'll probably dump his mana into his champion now, and he won't he won't be saving any mana fragments because of the ability of the stage, Phase Stitcher. We repurpose the Starfish, and then we're gonna play our Soul Void in the Scare Martyr, I think they're called, or Scale Martyr, the lizard people. So we're just gonna suck up his 3 mana fragments. Yeah, so at this point he's sort of forced to spend those mana, because the Phase Stitcher will just suck up every time he activates. He'll suck up 1 mana. And we draw our Terra Whale. And then what I am going to just do here is calculate the exact damage I need to finish him off in one of my turns. So I'm not going to, you know, attack him piecemeal here, because that way he can't really get his champion out. Because we're doing combined damage at 13 if we attack all at once here, which will kill him. Yep, so that's a clap right there with Time and Space deck.
Victory.
Alright, so game number 3 up against Norm Wilson. He's playing Strife, running our Time and Space Delirium deck. Opening hand is pretty promising. We got some early drops to gain mana, and we have some card draw. And that's basically what you generally want.
Prepare to die.
So Strife, I think, is definitely one of the stronger default factions currently. They have a lot of good forts. They have a lot of good units, such as their Slag tanks. They got the Slag Gunner that is like 4 power range with 2 health. There are the Infestors we dropped. Alrighty then, nothing too exciting happening, just playing some cheap units to generate the mana. And I would say that is a kind of a simple thing to do, but it's amazing how so many new players don't quite understand that concept. And I've seen time in and time after new players playing units, and as soon as, like, we're talking the first 1 to 3 rounds, they play units and they're just pushing their units forward. And you know what happens is 2 things: you're not generating mana. Likewise, your opponent has lots of cards in their hand, so they can easily drop down a unit that will survive that attack or benefit off it, like a survivor unit. So you really want to kind of generate that mana, get a full row. There are some circumstances where you're maybe pushing early with a powerful unit because you're trying to rush the opponent or whatnot. But you know, for the most part, I see a lot of new players just playing normal kind of decks and pushing with very low power units, and you're kind of just shooting yourself in the foot, basically. So I don't know, but yeah, the people, the veterans of this game, definitely don't do that. But that is something, if you're a new player and you're wondering why you're you know, constantly getting crushed all the time, and I think that is one thing that could be happening. You're not focusing on your mana economy first, and then you can get into like your deck and what things you have in your deck that can help you and whatnot. But I would say the game is pretty balanced overall, like for how many factions and champions and all these different cards and fort spells units. I think they did a pretty good job when you consider how diverse this game is. Of course, we can talk about certain champions or maybe certain units or spells that perhaps need to be looked at, but I think most good Dragefront players can win in most circumstances with many different champions or different decks, because you just have to play really smart, understand what your opponent's sort of doing. I don't know why I did a little dance there. Oh, okay. I saw that he played his big boy, his tank, and I have the combo to steal his tank. Muttering Assailant. So we're gonna drop our Temptation Witness. Come to me. We can now stun it and grab it with our Muttering Assailant. So now it's under my control. I do 8 to the face, and then I say Sigil, and I get the benefit of the respawn on it. So I even get the 2/2 Slag infantry.
You must move units from your spawn row.
So yeah, he's definitely in a terrible position there, because when you think about it, that was a 6 cost unit. I stole the 3 mana fragments from it. I was able to do damage to him, and then on top of that, I got the benefit of his 2/2s. So yeah, if you're facing Delirium and you're running like those tanks, be careful. The Delirium player might be running that combo. So he plays another tank. And the tanks are really good, don't get me wrong, but I just happen to have a pretty good counter to it with this deck. So because we have a Starling in the lane, our Cosmic Ray does 5 damage. Yeah, so at this, he's down to 2 health. Yeah, it's looking pretty bad for him. And we have another removal Cosmic Ray, so even if he put his champion down, it would just get taken out. I think he concedes here, so that is good. And I don't have a problem with people conceding, like if they know they've lost. Like, I know some players want you to stick into the game and just, you know, get yourself like defeated, but really, like, I don't think it's poor sportsmanship to be like, you know, if you know you lost, you just hit the surrender button. You gain your XP and everything. It's just, you know, you move on to the next game. But I can see how, like, maybe, you know, you have the killing shot suddenly and you're about to kill the person like mid animation, and the person quickly surrenders before it can even happen. Yeah, I can see that's kind of like maybe a rage quit, but like, I have no problem. Like, it's the guy's turn. No, I have no answer to it. Surrender. I don't take that as a poor sportsmanship at all, but I know some people consider that like bad manner, but
Level up, mission
I don't.
complete.
Anyways, that was a good game, and thank you guys for watching this. I will see you on the battlefield.